Welcome. This is Real Talk. My name is James Rhodes. I'm the main host. I'm joined today by the one and only Dina, Darlene, a.k.a. Doe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You seem a little shook up. You all right?
I'm good.
Okay. I promise if this goes bad, it just won't go anywhere.
Okay.
You okay with that?
I'm good with that.
All right. So this is actually going to be episode 1. It's kind of a big deal, prestigious moment. If you could, I want you to put yourself in a situation where you're being interviewed, right?
Okay.
Like for a new job, and like, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, Lord.
If you could highlight yourself in 60 seconds, what would you say?
Oh, Lord.
Go for it.
Hard worker. I don't know, dependable, loyal.
Yeah? That was like 12 seconds.
Oh, Lordy.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you.
Okay.
How's Houston?
It's good. It's actually good.
What do you like about it?
I'm in my house. And I'm there alone a lot, so
Yeah.
I like that. I go in early, so I miss all the traffic. Do have traffic in the afternoons, but it's all good.
Pull that a little bit closer to you. There you go.
There?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay.
So you go in early, you leave early, you miss all the traffic except the afternoon. Is that what you said?
Yes.
How far outside of downtown Houston do you live?
About 25 miles.
North, south, east, or west?
That would be northwest. Sorry, northeast.
Northeast. Do you think you'll ever come back?
I don't know.
Maybe give a little context. Why are you in Houston?
For my work, because I had to relocate in order to keep my job.
The worst news I've ever heard.
So
It was one of the saddest days in my collection of memories that I have is when you told me and Brittany. Did you tell all three of us together, or was it just
what do you mean 3?
me, Brittany, and Lincoln?
Oh,
I don't think you ever told Lincoln, did you?
I mean, he did know, but I don't know that he grasped what that meant.
Yeah. I just remember it. It was horrible.
Yeah. So I do miss family, but it'll be good for me as far as work goes, career-wise. So.
You feel like you've made more progress in your career since you left?
No.
Or what do you mean by that?
Well, I will. I haven't yet because we just hired somebody new and it's been kind of crazy. But, yeah, hopefully I'll become the controller. And
Oh, that's going to happen?
I could within the next few years, couple of years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay here? You don't have to say the name of the company, but are you going to stay there because of that role and then retire from there? Or are you going to take that role with the title, work a few more years, and then... Because that type of title, you can move, right?
Yeah. And, I mean, technically, I do the job now. There's just a few things. I don't have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a few things that
Like
I don't know how
certifications?
to do. Yeah. So, yes, I will probably stay where I'm at. But I could leave if I needed to, or if I decided I didn't want to live in Houston anymore, I want to move somewhere else. So
Yeah. Where else do you think you would live?
I mean, if I just today I said I would come back here to be around.
Where
family,
is here? Where would
Fort
you
Worth.
go, though?
Well, in the Fort Worth area.
Any certain part of it?
No, I don't think so. I would say go back to Weatherford, but it's just
There's nobody there.
too much traffic.
Oh, really? In Weatherford?
Yes.
We don't go out there anymore, obviously, after
It's
Mom and Dad
awful.
left.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. I had so Walsh Ranch, other side of the highway. Isn't that where they're doing the new UTA? Have you heard about the it's like that's extreme. I think it's like a 2,600 acre UTA campus that they're building out there really close to Walsh.
Oh, no.
And I think they're supposed to be doing I think it's on the other side of the highway from Walsh Ranch.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be in between 20 and 30, right?
Okay.
30's the one that takes you to Hewlett Mall? No.
No, 20 takes you
20
to Hewlett.
so it's in between 30 and 20
Okay.
on that side.
Oh.
But they're supposed to be doing some new subdivisions over there that's not near as big as Walsh.
Oh,
I think that would be a fun place to live.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of in that middle. You don't have that far to drive. Of course,
Mhm.
you're what, 15 minutes from your work right now?
On a bad day.
Yeah. So, let me tell you.
I've lived, except for like 9 months when I first started at my job, when I lived in Weatherford and had to drive to Fort Worth. Other than that, I've lived no more than 10 miles from my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm spoiled.
You're spoiled.
Yeah.
See, with mine, well, I've always been pretty close at this job, but the flexibility I've always had, because if I have in Preston, being the single mom, I was able to come. I've never missed a game,
Really?
never missed a school function, nothing, because I can come and go, work it out any way I want. So,
That's very nice.
so
And that was with current company, that was
correct.
with
Yeah.
all the other ones too?
Mainly just this one, but I've been there 11 years.
So you've been, wow.
Yeah.
Did we start at I started at my job. I was a contractor first. I'm not going to count that, but when I joined on as a full-time employee, it was October of 2013.
I started there August 13th.
Wow, I did not know that.
I didn't realize that either, but yeah.
You know, I met Brittany 2 weeks after I started at my job.
No, I didn't
Like
realize
I was
that
a contractor for. I'm not going to count that, but when I actually came an employee, I met her 2 weeks later.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, had my first big boy job. Yeah. No, that's so. Question then, because that just spurred on a memory for me. What job did you have whenever I developed my love for chicken teriyaki and white rice?
Oh,
You know,
Techstar
Techstar. Okay, that was in downtown Dallas.
is in Addison.
Okay. How did you get away with free child labor?
Hey, you didn't do for free.
I got paid?
Yes.
Where'd that money go?
Well, I don't know what you did with it.
You gave it to me or you gave it to Mom?
No, we gave it to you.
You might have to pull a little bit closer. I lost you again. You can grab it'll turn. And then just grab the mic and turn it a little more.
Which way you want it? I'm lost.
I muted myself.
Oh.
That was my fault. Tilt it down just a little bit so it's like angled right at your mouth. There you go.
Okay.
So you said you paid me well?
Yes, we paid you well.
I would have to
come
disagree.
there and work one day,
I'd have to
and
disagree.
we paid you $150.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. Ask Jennifer tomorrow. She's going to be at the
All I did was
Thanksgiving.
organize paper, right?
Uh huh. You filed a lot.
There's no way y'all paid me $150.
I'm telling you. I think the first time we did it was 100, and I think the second time was 150.
I'm gonna have to call Mom and ask her. I don't recall getting. I don't remember you ever handing me money.
I was like, I don't know if we would had to write you a check because we wouldn't have had cash. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Mom squandered that money away.
She might have.
A lot of things I'm learning about Mom, you know.
Yeah.
So, what do you remember the first time you ordered that Chinese food?
No.
Because still to this day, you can ask Brittany whenever we're out, and her mom would ask me, "What do you want to eat?" or "What's your favorite meal?" I'm like, grilled chicken, white rice, teriyaki sauce.
Yeah.
By far my favorite.
Jennifer will know it, but I can't even remember the name of the place.
Little styrofoam to go. There's a couple little pieces of broccoli in the top right hand corner. I never ate. Yeah, I mean, but if it's just grilled chicken, white rice with teriyaki sauce. Yeah. By the way, Brittany's off in the corner. I'm not talking to a ghost. We just need to get a third mic set up. Yeah.
I cannot remember. I was trying to think of the name of it. I can't think of it.
What year was that?
I started to work there in 2001. So
I would have been 11. Totally against child labor
it was
laws.
The first year you were there. The first year I was there. So it might have been I'm trying to think if I had Preston.
It wasn't it only on Saturdays?
No, I've never worked there on Saturday.
But so it was just you and her in the office, or were there other people there? I just don't remember.
There were other people in the office, but they may not have been there at that time.
Better
But
question.
No, they were there
Why was I there working?
because we need a bunch of filing done. It was like,
Where was Mom?
We'll pay Fred Colton.
Where was Mom at?
I'm sure she was at work.
Oh, so this must have been like during the summer.
Yeah, I'm guessing
Probably.
it was that summer. Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Where did you live at that time?
Hurst. Over
Which
there
house?
Off of Trinity. Trinity and 820.
Trinity.
Yeah.
The only house I can remember that you had was the duplex across the street from LD Bell.
It was after that one. Then I moved to it's a single house where I lived by Tony and Lisa.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Where we
There.
built the Charles and I built Charles did. I hit a few nails. The patio thing. The pergola.
Yes. Yeah.
Which Brittany and I drove by that house or drove by that neighborhood yesterday.
Oh.
Every time I drive by there, I'm like, oh, I remember that.
Yeah. My magnolia tree is still sitting there.
Really?
Yeah.
It's an up and coming area now, right there.
Yeah. Well, those houses across the street are about 3 times as expensive as the other ones were.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they built a Tex Rail station right outside that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You could have taken that straight to Techstar.
I haven't seen it, but Tony and Lisa told me that they were doing it.
Gotcha.
So
So walk me to let's backtrack a little bit. How old were you when you left Rising Star? For those that don't know, you grew up in Rising Star, Texas, population of
1,009.
how many people were in your graduating class?
13. And went with the same kids from kindergarten through 12th grade.
Wow. What I'm almost scared to ask. What number in graduation were you, like as far as academics?
I honestly,
Were you 13?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not that. I wasn't the highest either, but they didn't give us that information, or I don't really know how to
Is that
explain
is that what they tell kids that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, honey, we don't give out GPAs here.
I was always A's and B's, so
Okay, so you had to have been pretty high.
yeah. So
Did you have like a brainiac in your class that you know would have been number one?
probably Laura Cox.
Not the Laura I know. That's a
Right.
different one.
That's a different one.
Because did Laura graduate? Cousin Laura, she graduate with you?
Correct. Yeah.
Was she smarter or dumber than you?
She's smart. She's just ditzy.
I hope she hears this. Old Ditz. I'm gonna start calling her Old Ditz.
Yeah. A little ditzy.
Nice. Okay, so what age were you when you left Rising Star?
18.
Wow. Like right after graduation?
Yeah.
Summer after graduation?
Mhm. Yep.
How'd that conversation go? Who were you living with at the time? Grandma or grandpa?
Neither. When I graduated
Wait,
high
what?
hang on. Let me think. When I graduated high school, I was living with Jerry.
Uncle Jerry had his own place?
Yeah, he's 7 years older than me.
Oh,
He was
that's
married
right.
with kids. So Mom had moved my freshman year. Me and Daddy stayed in the house. And then Mom came back at some point. But anyway, then I moved in with Jerry because I don't know why. But
We don't have to go into that.
yeah, I don't really remember why. But Mother was living up here. She was living in Arlington.
Was she
when I
at
graduated
Pioneer?
High school.
Was she at Pioneer by then?
Yes. So I moved up here.
Bless you.
Laura and I moved up here and got an apartment. She didn't like it. She hooked them back.
Hold on. Where's up here? What do you mean by that?
In Arlington area.
Like
So,
where in the Arlington area?
where-
By the mall? Parks? What is it? Parks Mall?
yeah, of course that wasn't there then.
Parks Mall wasn't? I thought Parks Mall's been around for.
I don't think so.
Wait, am I confusing Pioneer, the mall across the street from Pioneer, with the mall I'm thinking of?
Probably so.
What's the other one? What's
I
the
don't-
other mall in Arlington? B. You have Parks Mall. No, what's the other one?
Well, that one that used to be by the Pioneers closed.
Okay, so maybe Parks Mall is the other one then.
Parks Mall is the big one off of 20.
That's what I'm thinking of. Did you
Okay.
live over there?
I did not.
Just somewhere else in Arlington?
Yeah. It was another mall, but it was Grand Prairie, Arlington, kind of the line. 303 Mall, maybe?
Hmm.
Anyway, it was close to that.
So you and Laura got an apartment.
Yeah.
You're 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And anything other than 1,000 people is going to be a big city for you.
Yes.
So y'all moved in to an apartment, and then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, what the hell do we do now? Or did y'all have jobs lined up? What happens here?
You know,
Do you have money saved up from Rising Star where you have some cushion, living life on the edge?
I'm trying to think. I really don't remember. I mean, we had to have money, or we wouldn't have been able to get the apartment. So,
Do you have any idea what your apartment cost back then? And what year would this have been?
87.
I wonder what apartment rent cost in 87.
I want to say it was 3 something for a 2-bedroom.
$300?
I want to say maybe 4.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
But no, it wasn't no high-end apartment either.
As the trap house? You had roaches on the walls?
No, I mean, not dirty, but I'm just saying it wasn't no high-end one.
Yeah.
So
how long were you there before Laura said, "No, I'm out"?
it wasn't long.
Like a month?
I don't know if she made it 6 months. It might
What
have
did you
been
do?
3. I stayed and then moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. And I worked. I'm trying to think where I worked then. I don't really remember what my first job was.
Did y'all already have like a network of friends down here that you knew when you moved?
No.
So you started from scratch.
Yes.
So who did y'all hang out with?
I mean, Mom was here.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And then Carla moved within a year or two. I don't remember exactly. But
To Arlington?
yeah.
So you had family here.
Yeah. So that was 80, let's just say 87, 88. You were born in
90.
90. So it wasn't long until you came along.
Yeah, but still, being 18 years old in a big city, your roommate leaves. You're stranded by yourself. I mean, I would imagine you were a little...
Well, I think at that point, I was back with Dennis.
Oh.
When Laura left or whatever in that time frame. So.
That was going to be my next question. So you met him down here?
No, I met him in Rising Star.
He's from Rising Star?
No. He drove a truck, and I just used to wait on him.
The truck stop?
Yeah. The restaurant.
All the pieces come together.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So you moved to Arlington. Laura goes back. You go to a 1-bedroom. And you don't remember what job you had at that point?
I really don't at that point. I worked at Denny's, the night shift for a while.
What'd you say, B? Is that my wife just named off a menu item from Denny's.
Oh, okay.
She said moon over the hammy or something. Moon's over my hammy if she's hungry.
Okay, I don't know about that.
We're just going to let that moment be.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. They probably didn't have it back then.
Maybe not.
Okay. So, Grandma was at Pioneer. Mom moves down. So, Mom must have moved down when you were 19 or 20?
Yeah.
Roughly?
Range, yeah. But it had to have been. Let's see.
She moved in 87. I was born in 90, so it had to have been somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So what's nightlife look like for you at 18, 19 years old in Arlington? Like if
I'm trying to I don't.
What are you doing on the weekends? Any idea?
I don't know. I wasn't too wild, for sure. I don't know.
Were you like ripping Marlboro Reds and
Oh no,
Copenhagen and
yeah, no. We used to go play pool and stuff, but that was like in the late afternoons.
Was Uncle Jerry still in Rising Star?
He was. Yes. He did move up here for a while, him and Rhonda.
Mm. Later on?
Few years, yeah. I
In the
don't remember
90s?
exactly when that was. Well, I was working at the bagel shop because Rhonda worked for me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was here. I was alive for the bagel shop. I was 10. No,
I
that's
think I
probably
started
old.
there in like 95.
Oh, so I was a lot younger.
97-ish, in that range.
Is that bagel shop still here today?
It is not.
Damn.
I know.
And y'all were
Missing.
famous for, we're jumping all over the place, but that's okay. Well, you all were famous because you boiled your bagels
Correct, instead of steamed them.
instead of steamed them.
Yeah.
How did the New York bagels get cooked? Do you know?
In New York,
Mm-hmm.
they boil them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They brought their ovens and their.
Oh, they were from New York.
Yeah. Joe and Ralph.
You still talk to them? Are they still alive?
They're still alive. Joe is in Connecticut, I think. And then.
Doing bagels?
No.
Oh.
He also had a tax business on the side, or that was his main business. That's one that made him money. I'll put it that way.
A guy from New York with a tax business
Yeah.
and a bagel shop.
Yeah.
Seems like a money laundering scheme.
And then Ralph is, last I heard, he was in Colleyville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's married.
So they were just two buddies, business partners?
Yeah. Yeah. They had known each other for years.
So how do you go from the job you don't remember to the bagel shop?
Lord. I was working at Kroger. I do remember that. I was working at Kroger, and the main, I guess she was a shift supervisor. Grace was her name. And she worked at Kroger for 20 years. She quit and went to work for the bagel company. And
She walked away from 20 years at
yes,
Kroger?
she did. And she's like, hey, these guys opened this shop. We're busy. Do you want a job? And I'm like, okay.
I would imagine she was making decent money at
You
20
would
years
think.
at Kroger, right?
You would think. And she was some kind of a manager. I mean, it wasn't the whole store, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Like an shift manager or assistant
Yeah.
manager, something like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so she plucked you out of Kroger.
Yeah.
We have that in common. I worked at a grocery store too.
We did.
A grocery store way better than Kroger, but yeah. What's the greatest grocery store known to mankind?
Well, you're going to say H-E-B.
Of course, it is.
Where'd you work at H-E-B?
Stephenville. Well, because after I graduated college, I moved down to Stephenville, lived with a few buddies, and I enrolled for my master's in kinesiology
Okay.
in the summer, and I was a night stalker at HEB all summer long.
Oh, okay. I did not remember that.
Working nights.
Yeah.
And then that's when a friend of mine reached out to me. He was a recruiter for the job I have now, company I have now, and said, "Do you want to be a contractor for so company and make? I think the offer was $22 an hour. Travel the U.S. 75% of the time travel, and all your travel and everything's paid for. Meal, you get per diem, all that good stuff." And I made a life choice because I had full expectation. I had already enrolled. I was going to take out loan. This is the first time I was going to take out student loans. I was going to get my master's in kinesiology because I just got my undergrad in exercise science. You couldn't tell that now, but yeah, I was ready to go.
Huh.
Had a really good roommates at Tanner.
Oh, yes.
Tanner and what was the other guy's name? Robert. Yeah, I don't think you knew Robert, but it was
No.
me, Tanner, and Robert. We actually just saw it. Brittany and I went to the Abilene Christian Charlton football game 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Abilene clinched the conference. Woo! And we drove by that house.
Oh.
Yeah. Had my own window unit in the little. Is that what they're called? Right, window units. Yeah. Had that in my room every day. I'd get home from work at 6:30, 7 in the morning because I worked nights. Crank that puppy down to 60 degrees. Take a shower. Get in bed, and it's like 64 in the room, just freezing. Wake up at 2 p.m. and start my life.
Oh.
I don't miss that, but
Yeah, no, that sounds horrible.
I do miss spending all of my money on groceries. We ate like kings because I'm gonna make this up. I think it was anywhere from 15 to 30% off food
Oh.
at HEB as an employee.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's when I learned how to make hot cocoa or hot espresso cocoa. One of my coworker, it had to have been just a coworker. He might have been like a shift lead or something. he would take instant coffee and mix instant coffee with cocoa powder for hot chocolate, and then drizzle espresso bean on top of it, and that's what we would drink at night to stay awake.
Okay.
It wasn't good, but it kept me up all night long. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to you because this is not about me.
Oh Lord.
Give me what's a fond memory you have of your childhood?
Being with my grandpa, my mother's father. Him and I were always very close.
Who did I meet? I met him on his deathbed.
That was probably Paul.
Paul, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
So
Share a memory.
I mean, just, oh Lord. We used to go, like Carla and Jerry would be at school, and he would keep me, and we would go into town because we lived out in the country, and we'd go to the soda shop, get like a Coke float type thing, go to the bank.
Well, you've gone through the whole town at that point, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's sweet.
So, yeah.
Well, excuse me my ignorance for not knowing my own family history. Was he married?
He had mother's mother passed away when mother was 5. And then he had remarried, and she passed away when I was in first grade, second grade, something like that. So
he had 2 wives pass away.
Correct.
In his
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
So he kind of, you think that's one reason why he latched on to you? And did he have a connection with Mom or Uncle Jerry?
He did, but
Or were they
he
too
wasn't
old?
as close to them as I was.
Got it. Would he like watch you before you went to actual school?
Correct. Yeah. Because when we lived literally like, I don't know, 100 yards from him at one point when I was little, under 5. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I know I was under 5. But yeah, I just walked back and forth to his house.
Nice.
So yeah. He had an outhouse. There you
No
go.
way.
I'm not joking.
Like a legit one?
Legit. That's what we used. There
You
was no indoor plumbing.
did your house have one? Did Grandma and Grandpa have an outhouse, or they have an actual toilet?
No. Well, you know what? It was. I don't know. I don't remember.
Is your generation the last generation of outhouses?
I don't know. But it was out. I mean, he did put Nanny a bathroom in the house, and it did get some plumbing, but we still went to the outhouse. I don't know, it was pretty small, but yeah, legitimate. There was the way the property was. There was one on. If you're looking at the house, if you look to the right, about 100 yards or 200 yards, there's an outhouse, and to the left.
Could you imagine if you have to go?
Yeah,
I have to trek 100 yards?
Yeah, and at night he had a 5-gallon can sitting in the kitchen, and if you had to go, you went in there, so you didn't have to go out on the side at night.
No way.
I'm not kidding.
Like, Grandpa, is that you? He's in the kitchen?
I don't know if we're doing that, but yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow, 100 yards.
I would say.
I struggle sometimes to make it from my couch to the toilet because I got to go so bad.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They're spooky.
Well, yeah, and it's depending on how they're built, I'm assuming you can't really see what's
Yeah, no, it's
down
dark.
there.
No, it's dark.
Did anything ever happen?
No.
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 Brittany and I saw a Facebook reel today. It had to have been someone in New York City because New York they have dog rats. They're so
Yeah.
big. And this person opens up their toilet lid, and there's a rat in like sitting on the edge of the bowl, and it's obviously wet. The guy closes the lid, and his friend's with him. He's like, open it back up. Opens the lid, and you see the rat go into the toilet, into the water. Did you know rats could breathe underwater? I didn't.
No, but really hadn't thought about it either. But
Yeah.
I
Brittany,
can't do rats.
Brittany said new fear unlocked. Or the videos of the people sitting, going potty on the toilet, and a snake
Yeah.
comes up.
I think I'd rather have a snake than a rat.
Would you?
I think so.
Oh, that's probably a water moccasin.
Rats
right.
are just gross.
We'll stick on the topic of animals. Tell me some funny animal stories from Rising Star. The only story I remember. I want you to tell it. The chicken with the head cut off.
Oh, that was at Paul's house. Yeah, he used to wring their necks. And
Like instead of using a knife like a civil human, he would grab them by the throat.
yeah, you pop their necks off. I don't know. I don't know. You do this swinging thing and it snaps it and it pops it off. I don't know.
It just comes off?
Yeah.
What do you do with the head? Do you eat it?
I don't think so.
I'm sure it's a delicacy somewhere.
Maybe. But yeah, like they would chase you. I mean, it was like they were chasing you. I don't know if they had the vibrations. I don't know how they knew where you were going, but they would chase you. And yeah.
So you pop a head off, take off running, and it chases you?
Yeah.
Just with blood going everywhere? And
yeah. I mean, I guess it's like I said, I was pretty young at that point, but I do kind of remember one like banging up against the screen
see,
door.
that's the story I heard.
Yeah.
Mom told me many moons ago that I don't remember who popped the neck. I guess it was Paul.
Yeah.
Popped the neck, and Mom was standing outside watching, and it came right at her.
Yeah.
She ran inside the house and closed the screen door, and it was running into the screen door just with blood spurting out of its neck.
I don't know about all that, but I do know
She might have exaggerated. She's been known to
your
exaggerate.
mother.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, it was hitting the door for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's freaky.
I wonder how
I guess we ate them. I don't know.
You would have to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any recollection of him plucking them or him preparing them.
Oh, I bet Uncle
actually
Jerry
eating
does.
them. I don't remember any of that, but I don't know.
I wonder if Uncle Jerry does. He might have taught him how to do it. Maybe not. Sidebar conversation. Speaking of chicken. Okay. I have trouble believing food manufacturing. And I'll stay on the topic of chicken because if you think about just think of DFW. No, let's just stick in Fort Worth. Let's make it easy. How many grocery stores do you think there are in Fort Worth? Just throw out a number. Doesn't have to be perfect.
200.
Oh, that's a lot. Okay, we'll stick with 200. How many chicken breasts are on display in those 200?
Well,
200,000?
At least there's 5 to a package, typically.
How many packets?
There's at least 20 packages.
Per store.
Yeah.
Right? So do that rough math in your head. Now, how many are in the freezer? Like not out yet. Even more, right?
Yeah.
Now multiply that by the rest of the state of Texas. Now go the rest of the U.S.
Yeah.
How are there that many? No, now let's go to the restaurants. Or go to the cruise ships. Have you ever seen the YouTube videos where the day in the life of a chef, and it'll say how I feed the Dallas Cowboys or how I feed the college football team, and they're like cooking 150 chickens at one time. Or Costco with all the chickens on the rollers. Yeah. How do we have so many chickens? How are there so many chickens that we have them readily available to buy and eat at any given moment, any given day? Have you ever thought about it?
No. But you figure they typically are sitting on at least 5 eggs per chicken, right?
I have a dumb question.
Uh-oh.
Does every egg turn into a chicken?
No.
Okay. Well, then that pokes a hole in your logic.
Well, I'm saying, but the ones that they're sitting on, that they...
Oh, they know which ones to sit on?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how all that works.
It would have been cool if you knew.
But, I mean, there's usually, I would think, at least 5. And I don't know how often that happens per chicken.
Okay. Stay here then. Takes 5. Let's say the chicken lays 15. 10 of them can be eaten as eggs. The other 5 actually turn into chickens. Mm-hmm. From the day the egg is laid to the day the egg's cracked to the time it's able to be cut up and butchered. Oh. How long is that? A couple years? How long does it take a chicken to get fully? B, can you be my Joe Rogan Jamie? How long does it take a chicken from birth to the time it's full grown enough to eat? While she's looking that up, we can keep talking. I've recently heard it's like 6 to 9 months. So they're full. They're old enough to cut up and eat.
Well,
6 weeks? We're eating 6-week-old chickens? Wow. I feel like the chicks at Tractor Supply are 6 weeks old.
Mature laying hens are considered 10 months to 1.5 years.
oh, okay.
That's probably why there's so many of them. They don't have to live for very long. Turning and burning.
Yeah. Okay, so fine. We've solved chicken because there's so many. Beef. It takes a long time for a cow to get ready to cut up and eat.
She's talking about one cow would feed.
Correct. We could eat on one cow for a year between this household. 3 or 4 people could eat on one cow for a year. How many families are there? There's 333 million people in the United States of America. There's ground beef everywhere. Steak, pork butt,
Yeah.
shoulder, all this stuff. How are there that many cows? How many cows do you see driving down the road? Not that many.
It depends on where you're at.
Well, we're in the great state of Texas where there's
Well, I'm saying,
Roman land everywhere.
Right here in Fort Worth, you're not going to see that many. But if you go into the rural areas, then you're going to.
I've been around the U.S. I've been around a lot of places in the U.S., and I haven't driven by a patch of land that had 70,000 cows out there. You're still muted. There you go.
If you go from here to College Station, you will see a lot. I mean, a lot. Carla's even like, why are there so dang many cows?
So you don't think there's some fake meat processing going on, is what you're saying?
No.
Okay. I mean, valid point. I had the thought. I think what happened was I got into a YouTube rabbit hole and I started watching how the food, like how much food's on a cruise ship, and then I saw another video about one of the chefs saying this is how I feed a professional football team, and it's like there's so much. No, you know what it was? I was at a conference. There was like 2,000 people conference at some hotel, and there's 2,000 people sitting. Everyone gets a plate at the same time, and everyone had chicken breasts. It's like, how is it? All this conference has this many. Then there's another conference down the street, and then there's the grocery stores, and then there's the restaurants, and then there's the fast foods place. Of course, that may not actually be chicken, but it's a thought I had.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so back to childhood.
Uh-oh.
So great memories with Paul.
Yes. He was my favorite person.
Nice. Did you play sports? Or were you a kid
No.
that I would have made fun of?
When I was real little, we tried to do baseball, but yeah, we decided that wasn't for
Why not
us.
softball?
I don't think they offered softball. I think it was just a co-ed thing.
Was it like a stick and a rock, or did you actually have a baseball?
No, we had a baseball and a
Okay.
bat, but yeah, we decided that wasn't for us. And
Who's
I
we?
played basketball, like Laura. She did it. Just the people.
Oh,
in
you
my
and your
class,
friends?
Yeah.
You and your 12 other friends?
That's right. And we played basketball in school.
Were you good?
Cheerleading. I was okay.
Did you start? Well, I guess you had to start.
I did.
If
when
you
I was a
didn't
junior.
start,
I
that
didn't
would be
play in high
real
school,
bad.
But yeah.
Okay.
So. And that's about
So
it.
baseball you tried, you played basketball, and then you did cheerleading.
Yeah. Horrible.
At cheerleading?
Cheerleading is awful. Just
Why? Why?
girls are horrible.
Oh, so the stories Mom said are true?
Yeah. Pretty much.
But there's like, Laura's in your class, so there's only 11 other people.
Well, yeah, but I mean the whole junior high. I mean, there's
30 of you?
yeah.
And all of them turn on you?
Well, no, they don't turn on you. They're just catty. It's just girls. Young girls are not nice people, typically.
Were you nice? Or were you catty and Karma came back around?
No, I was not catty. But if I didn't like you, I didn't fake it that I didn't like you.
You still have that characteristic today.
I do. I'm better though than I
Are
used
you?
to be. I am better than I used to be.
You don't flare near as much as you used to. Doe has the infamous nose flare when she gets mad.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So that was about it for the sports. Wasn't a lot to do, and we did a little bit of volleyball, but not competitive.
Did you? I'm assuming that what was this like negative A, like 0A, 1A? What was the classification?
Well,
Do
I'm
you
sure
know?
it was a 1.
1A.
At the most, it was a 2, but I don't
Was there even such thing? You probably don't know this. Was there even such thing as a 4 and 5A back then?
know.
Maybe
don't
there was
even
up here.
Know that we knew if we were classified as 1A. I mean,
Oh, really?
it was just something that you thought
Were
of.
y'all known for a particular sport back then?
Jerry's age was really good at football. I honestly don't remember if we were a winning team. I know we didn't go to state or anything, but
And that's 6-man football.
no, back then it wasn't.
Back then it was
It was
full 11?
Yeah.
All the whole class played?
Yeah. Well, there's more than one class.
Oh, because it would be freshman, sophomore, junior,
Yeah.
senior, making up the football team.
Yeah.
Because now they have 6-man, right? It went.
6-man, and that's been the last, I don't know, 5-7 years, something like that.
I think it's longer than that.
Maybe.
Because
I haven't been back in a while.
when Grandpa died, which is 2001.
No, he died in
Oh, I got that wrong.
New Year's Eve 2002 because it was right before Preston was born.
Oh, so I got 1 year off. 2002. So 1 year. Okay. I think we went back in that fall. So it'd been fall of 2002. I went to a football game. Don't remember. I don't remember if you were there. I remember standing on the track watching the game.
Oh.
And thinking how weird it was to see 6-man because I'd never seen it before.
Oh, okay. Then I wasn't there because I haven't seen him play.
Oh, okay.
6-man.
Yeah. It was unique to watch, to say the least. Where do you recall the house that Uncle Jerry and Rhonda lived in that was like across the street from the school? Is that a correct memory that I have?
It's not right across, but yes, it's close.
Is that the house that you grew up in?
That is correct. Yep.
So you lived 100 yards from there was Paul's house?
No, that was from a different time.
Oh, okay.
That was when I was little.
Oh, gotcha.
We lived in a town called Pioneer, which is between Rising Star and Cross Plains. Your mom and Jerry went to school in Cross Plains.
What?
When they were,
I didn't know this.
How
How many people are in
second grade?
Pioneer? Even less than that?
Oh yeah, because the school they didn't have school. They went to school in Cross Plains. So
When did they go to school in Cross Plains?
Elementary. I don't know because I was
So before
I wasn't in
right
school
when you were
yet.
born? Yeah.
Second, maybe second grade for Carla.
Yeah, super young.
Yeah,
And then they came back to Rising Star.
yeah, later on.
How in the world did Uncle Jerry get his childhood home? Did it just never leave the family?
No, a lawyer bought that house from Mom and Dad out of Brownwood, and he was renting it from that man, and then bought it from him. I think is how that went.
Is that the same house that the barbed wire incident happened?
No,
On the horse?
that was Cross Plains area.
Wow,
Yeah,
I got my cities all mixed up.
yeah.
Were you there for that incident?
I was, but I don't really remember it.
I'd be curious. If I can ever get Mom on the podcast, I would love for her to tell that story. It sounds pretty wicked
Yeah, no, it's
to
crazy.
be hanging or stuck to a barbed wire fence
yeah.
by your arm.
Now,
Uh-oh.
keep in mind. No. I'm just saying. Keep in mind, this is your mother telling the story.
Yes.
So.
I mean, but the
Yeah.
scar's pretty gnarly.
No. Actually, it happened. I'm just saying she probably wasn't hanging on the fence. She probably fell off and hit the fence and fell down. I'm just saying.
Holding her
You know
arm
who
together.
is,
Yeah. Get a couple. I'll feed her some sangria beforehand, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you have any like big incidents or injuries or anything like that growing up?
I had my toe cut off.
Oh, please tell that story. And angle this down just a little bit more because you're going in and out just a
Okay.
little.
Okay.
There you go. Much better.
So I was in the 2nd grade, never wore shoes, and I was out in the pasture with the
Y'all didn't have
horses.
stickers?
We did.
Your feet were so tough, you just
I
stepped
just-
on them?
Picked them out and went on about my business.
Could you imagine kids these days doing that? I got a sticker.
Oh, I wouldn't do it now for sure.
Okay, so you're out in the...
So we're out there. Dad and my Uncle Lloyd are trimming the horse's hooves, and I'm messing with one of the mares, and she stepped on my foot, and I pushed her off, and when I did, it mashed my middle toe off, half of it off. So the bone was sticking out. So
I didn't know the bone was sticking out.
yeah, I had to go have it cut off. So I walked off, and I'm like, something's wrong with my foot because it had numbed it. So I didn't.
Did you not
feel
look
it.
down?
Well, when I just felt it was something different. So I looked down, and I'm like, we got a problem. So anyway,
And you're in
Mom-
2nd grade?
Yeah. And so they were like, oh crap. Wrapped it up, went to Dr. Carpenter's house, and
Of course.
he looked at it and said, I can't do anything with this. You're going to have to go to the emergency room. So we went to the emergency
I mean,
room.
what in the
He
world
said-
were they... It's not like you found the rest of your toe, did you?
No,
Yeah.
no.
So the rest of
So-
your toe is still somewhere out there in
That's right.
Rising Star.
Yeah, in the pasture. So we went
Wow.
to Eastland, and they cut the bone off, and sewed it up, and
That's
went about my way.
maybe you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find a picture, and in this part of the story, I'm gonna put it on the screen so people
Okay.
can see it because I do think it's odd how it like it just takes
Yeah.
the middle toe.
Yeah.
Like, did it have a crooked hoof or
Well,
how
because
did
they
it?
haven't trimmed that one's yet, and so it had like a
Like a little pointy part?
Yeah,
Damn.
right. So yeah.
Did Grandpa and Uncle Lloyd before that say, "Hey, Darlene, damn it, I told you to put some shoes on"?
Always send you to put your shoes on.
Really?
You're always supposed to have your shoes on.
That's his rule.
I mean, that's.
I mean, I know that's common sense, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
It
To me,
wasn't a rule, but it was like, you should have your shoes on.
but as a parent, you look for those moments, right, where you tell your child, "Don't do this, or do this," and they don't do it. And you're like, "I told you."
Right.
Was it? Did he look at you like?
I don't know, because we were like kind of in panic mode,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. And then Mom gets deathly sick with the sight of blood.
Nuh-uh.
So,
I didn't know that.
Even to this day. Oh, yeah.
Can we prank her tomorrow at Thanksgiving?
Oh, Lord. And she was like, oh, we can't do this. And so we went to the emergency room. We're there waiting. The guy's like, okay, we're going to have to numb it some more. We're going to cut the bone off. And Mom turns white. I don't know where Dad was, but Lloyd stayed in there with me. Mom had to leave because she got sick.
Wow.
Yeah. Craziness.
And you were 2nd grade. How old is
Second
that?
grade.
8?
7, 8, something like that.
Were you able to? Did you have like a boot?
I remember it being wrapped up like 3 times the size of what it actually was.
Just like a big
It was
sock?
huge,
Was it just
yeah.
that toe
Like
wrapped or the whole
gauze?
foot?
No, the whole foot. Just gauzed it up. Yeah. I don't know.
Did you develop a good story to go along with that, or did you just tell people what actually happened?
Nah, just tell what happened.
Well, that's so boring. Did I ever tell you the story about when I fell off my bike when we lived off of Chattanooga? So I was practicing doing nose wheelies. And this was back when I used to race BMX. Shout out to the trophy on the top. But doing it, in order to do a nose wheelie, you have to kind of get a little bit of speed, but then you jam your left or right foot, whichever one you're going to do, into the front wheel, like where there's the wheel and then there's a little bit of space in your
Right.
bar. You jam your foot in there, and it creates you to stop because I don't have normal brakes on a BMX bike, and that causes the back wheel to come off the ground. It's called a nose wheelie. So it's basically you just stop. You just think of like hard braking to the front wheel, and your back wheel comes off the ground. It's a stupid trick,
Mm-hmm.
but I tried it. And I was, this would have been 5th grade, which is 10 or 11 years old. And it was Sunday night, Sunday afternoon into the evening. And it's getting super dark. Right outside of the Chattanooga house. You remember the Chattanooga house?
Yeah.
Around the corner?
Yeah.
So I'm in front of the garage. So I'm like on the main street, not where I should be doing
Right.
it. But whatever. I remember pedaling down just a little bit, come back around, coming up towards the house. I'm like, this is my last one. Get a little too much speed, but I'm like, I feel good about it. Jam my foot in. I had way too much speed. I go straight over the handlebars. My foot gets caught, so I can't like land on my feet. I go to catch myself from hitting the concrete. My right hand gets caught on the handlebar, so I only have one hand to catch. So I catch myself on my left, and my right side of my face smacks the concrete. The handlebars jab me in the hip, and now I had a little bit of road rash on my shoulder. But basically all it was the whole right side of my face, my chin, and my hip. And I'm screaming bloody murder. Mom comes outside, screaming at me because I'm not supposed to be doing that trick, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to the next morning. Like I said, this was Sunday night, right? Monday morning rolls around. I have school. I wake up in the morning, already have a black eye. Thankfully, everything's scabbed over at this point, but it looks super fresh and like a real wound. It doesn't look like road rash. It looks like I just got my ass whooped. So I'm crying because I don't want to go to school. Being a 10, 11-year-old boy, I'd much rather stay home anyway because who wants to go to school?
Right.
So Mom goes, well, just, you know what, Colton, just tell him you should see the other guy. You should just tell him you should see the other guy. So I'm like, okay, fine, that's what I'll do. So I go to school. First class, I don't remember the teacher's name. A few of my friends, all the girls thought I was cute. So they're like, oh my God, Colton, are you okay? And sorry, B. Most people were asking me what's going on. I was like, you know what? You should just see the other guy. You should see the other guy. And I just kept saying that over and over. By the third period, I was in Miss Knowles' class. And Mrs. Smith, who used to live down the street from Grandma in Colleyville, remember her?
Yeah.
The principal. She walks into the door. She walks into the classroom door with a resource protection officer. I mean, it was just, I now know the resource protection, but whatever. And they're like, Colton, can you please come with us? And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? So they call me into the office. And Miss Smith goes, do you care to tell me what happened to your face? And I stuck with the story that Mom told me. You should see the other guy. She didn't like that explanation, right? So she keeps prying, keeps digging. And at this point, I don't know what to do. So I just keep the story going. And I'm in 5th grade at Bell Manor Elementary, and Central Junior High is, 6 more blocks away from where we live. So I'm like right in the middle of the elementary and the junior high. And I make up this story that I got jumped by 7th graders or 8th graders or 9th. I don't know how old they were, but they went to Central Junior High. I got jumped at Central Junior High over the weekend by multiple kids. So she's beside herself that one of her elementary students got jumped by kids that are way older than him. The resource protection officer is asking me for like names, the way they looked, the way they dressed, what their face looked like. And so I'm all in this story. I don't know how long I'm in the office, but it's probably 15, 20 minutes. The principal from Central Junior High walks into the room. Another actual police officer walks in. And now I absolutely lose it. I start bawling my eyes out, crying like crazy. I'm like, and now my mom walks in the door. And she sees me just in tears with 2 police officers, both the principal from the elementary, principal from the junior high. And Miss Smith looks at me and she tells Mom, she goes, what happened? Your son's telling me a story, blah, 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 blah. And I look at Mom and I look at Miss Smith and I'm like, she told me to say that you should see the other guy. I actually fell off my bike. And my mom was just ghost white at that point. And I got to go home that day, but I remember the conversation I had with Mom going home. She was like, you have to know when to stop telling the story. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
Wasn't very good.
No.
Nobody didn't jump me. I didn't get jumped.
Right.
But I was pretty bruised up for a while. I do remember that. So Rising Star, cut your toe off. Any other crazy incidents happen to you?
Mm,
It feels
I
like you.
broke
ahead.
my ankle.
How'd you do that?
Fifth grade. Running outside, and we're playing tag. And Kelly Hill.
Don't know that person.
Oh,
You said it like I was supposed to know.
Blake Hill.
Nope.
So what Haley went out with? Okay. Well, anyway, I went to school with him. They
Wait,
live up
what?
Here somewhere.
Haley dated a.
No, the son.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that was at TCU.
Oh, got it. Okay, I do
Yeah.
remember that now.
Not TCU, ACU.
ACU, yeah.
Anyway, him and
Shout
another
out.
guy were running, and I think Kelly tripped Terry, and when he did, he fell and hit me, knocked me down, and it broke my ankle.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's like immediately it swelled double the size.
Same foot?
Yeah, it actually was. Double
Yeah.
the size, black and blue. And then Mom came and got me. And she's like, it's just a bad sprain. It's just a bad sprain. You got to walk on it. You got to get the soreness out of it. So I walked
That's
on
the
it
old way.
for 3 days before we finally went to the doctor. And he's like, it's broke. You got to go to Abilene.
Damn.
Get a cast.
What did Grandma say?
Sorry.
So harsh.
Yeah.
So harsh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's it for me on the injuries.
So Mom cut her arm off, basically. You lost a toe and broke her ankle. What happened to Uncle Jerry?
Well, when he was little, and I wasn't born yet, so the only stories were he's 3 years old or something like that. He liked beer, and
At 2?
yeah, he would sneak.
At 2?
Yeah, he would sneak to drink a beer. He wanted to drink it. So anyway,
How did he know he liked it?
who knows?
That's the scary part.
Who knows? But there was a beer bottle that had gasoline in it.
Oh my
And
God.
he took a big drink of the gasoline.
Wow.
Well, I guess they took him to the hospital. I don't know. I know it took his breath away. Mom was like freaking out because he was like a gasp. She's like, she finally blew in his face for him to like catch his breath.
How funny is that? Could you imagine in a year and a half Monroe's walking around looking for beer bottles? That's what that is.
Yeah. What else? He had
Brit-
a motorcycle accident when he was in high school, I guess.
Brittany and I, don't lose that story. Brittany and I have a friend who, when they would drink wine, she would refer to it as mommy juice. And one night, we were there. Yeah, we weren't saying that. I think we had just come to visit him or something, and she was telling us this story. She left a glass of mommy juice out on the counter at night, and their son at the time was like 4, might have been Lincoln's age. And he got up in the middle of the night because he was thirsty and went to the kitchen and saw a glass, like a cup. It wasn't like this, but a cup, and just chugged it. Went back to bed. And the next morning, they all woke up, his family, whatever. She comes out into the kitchen and sees the glass is empty. And then about that time, their son walks out. And she goes, "Did you drink this last night?" And he goes, "Yeah, I did." She's like, "That was mommy's juice." Yeah, I liked mommy's juice. He drank like half a glass of wine at 4 years old.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. We're about an hour in. Let's fast track a little bit. So let's fast track to Preston.
Okay.
Give me some good stories about P. About P. Farrell.
Before him?
No, well, if you want, you can
I'm
go.
just saying. I don't know. Not every.
I mean,
not
you
everybody
listen.
knows this.
You come stay at our house every time you're in town. We don't have to go to the. We have tons of time to tell all the other stories. I just think a good way to end it would be to tell a funny story about Preston.
Okay.
That when he decides to get married, right? We put this up during the wedding
Okay.
reception.
No, it's okay. We'll do it another time.
If you want to keep going,
So
are you tired?
One time he was throwing up before school, but then once he threw up, he felt better, And so I'm like, okay, so I'll take you to school. This is at Austin Elementary.
Oh, this is
And,
Weatherford.
Weatherford, yeah. And so I said, but do not tell the teachers that you threw up this morning because
They'll send you home.
they'll send you home. They'll call me. I said, as long as you feel fine. He's like, no, hey, I feel good now. We got that pressure off. Okay. So I take him to school. I go to work. I'm not there 5 minutes. The phone rings. It says, Miss Lunsford, you need to come and get Preston. He's sick. He's throwing up. I was like, gosh, dang it. And she goes, yeah, and he said that he threw up before school, but you told him not to tell. Okay, well, he said he felt fine.
Yeah. So he actually threw up
So-
at school too?
Yeah.
Damn.
He had the flu or something.
All right, so you were about to tell a unique fact about you. I don't want to steal that from you, so
Oh, it's fine.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, with Preston, I was artificially inseminated. So, took the first time, but a place in Hearst. So, that's just a unique fact about him.
Can I dig on that topic a little bit?
Yeah.
Can you walk me through your mindset on how you got to that decision?
Because I was 30. Well, I'd been thinking about it before this, but at this point, I was 33. And I wasn't dating anybody. Wasn't any prospects. My clock's ticking. So I'm like, I got to do it on my own. So.
Was there online dating back then? Or apps? Were apps a thing back then? Like dating apps?
I don't know. Not that I can remember.
So, but it had been on your mind for a bit.
Yeah, but I was like, if I'm going to have one, I got to do it. So I talked to Dr. Neal and my doctor, and he's like, if you have a donor, I can do it. If you don't, you'll have to go to the reproduction place.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there. They do all this screening, and then they give you a psych evaluation and all
Really?
this stuff. Oh, yeah. And then
I wonder if they turn people away if they're
I
out of their
guess,
minds.
I guess. And
Wow.
then you get, I can't remember if they send you a list of donors, and they list like their basic information, their hair color, their height, their weight, that kind of thing. And then from that, you decide who you want more information on, and then you send off for it, and then they send it's like 20 pages on each person, like
No way.
all their medical background as far back as they can go.
I had no idea. I thought that stuff was like confidential.
No, but I mean, you don't have any names or anything. You don't have any pictures, but yeah.
But you can learn a lot about somebody from their height, weight, their medical
Yeah.
history, their family, all that stuff.
So yeah,
Like where they're from.
yeah. So, and then on these particular ones, they wrote essays, kind of thing, at the end of it, saying why they're donating.
Wow.
Stuff like that. So that's how I chose the one I chose.
Do you have any recollection on what the essay was?
I have it. I mean, I have a
Do you
copy
really?
of the paperwork. Yeah.
When's the last time you looked at it?
Not too long ago. I mean, Preston was still at home because he wanted to read it. So
I was just about to ask that.
yeah.
How old was Preston when you told him?
Middle school, I would say. He knew that our situation was different than most people's, but I think that's when I
She was like 13, 14.
learned everything. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
How did you mentally prepare for that as a parent?
I didn't.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I didn't know.
You just
I was
thought
winging it.
tonight's the night. I'm going for it.
Yeah, it's like he asked me some kind of questions. I don't remember now, but yeah, I was like, oh, well, here we go.
How did he take it?
He was good with it. I mean, like I say, he knew that the situation was different. He just didn't know exactly how.
Yeah.
So he just knew there wasn't a dad
Yeah.
in the picture. So yeah.
Wow.
So he really wants to find the donor just to get
Is he
talk to
allowed?
them. Well, we've tried. That's blind. They don't have any information on that. But
Even the
and
place?
they don't have any way of getting in contact with them, or because it's not it wasn't digitized back then, and so they don't have it. But so he's done like the ancestry thing.
What came up?
He
Anything?
found a half sister.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
amazing.
Yeah.
Where's she at?
Oh gosh, where is it? It's like Idaho or Indiana.
So there's a
something like that.
chance.
I've talked to them or emailed with the mom. She's 2 years younger than Preston.
What?
Yeah, I'll show you a picture.
They look like?
There's resemblance.
No
for
way.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so-
then there's another one, but we haven't talked to him. But it's some guy out of New York that would probably be a half brother. So they're all trying to find the donor as well.
Oh, so they're all the same way? All three of them?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. I've wanted to know more about that story, but you know, I just always felt like it was a touchy subject, so I never wanted to ask.
Nah.
But he received it well.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. The only thing is he really would like to talk to the donor. He just wants to like background information.
Yeah.
He just wants to talk to the person. Doesn't want anything from them. And that was the whole thing. It's like, I will help you try to find the person, but we're not doing it until you're 18 because
Nice.
I don't want any issues. And
What do you mean
plus,
by issues?
them trying to come back and say, oh, well, I didn't know I actually had a child. I want to be in their life. Well,
At 18, he gets to say, "No way, Jose."
yeah.
Yeah.
And also they might be more receptive because they're not thinking that I want child support. You know?
Yeah.
It's- Yeah, I don't need you for that.
Wow. That's really cool. Yeah, no, you're the only person I know that has done that.
Yeah.
You do? Well, who? Oh, okay. Yeah. Was that local here?
No,
DFW?
it's Kansas. It's where the sperm bank is.
You had to drive all the way to Kansas to do
No,
it?
they send it.
Oh,
to,
okay. Your doctor here?
the doctor here. Actually, there's still a vial there at the doctor's office.
Really?
Yeah. So I bought 2, thinking the first time wouldn't take, but it took the first time. So
Okay, so let's stay on this topic for a minute. You go through the procedure.
Mhm.
Week 5, period's supposed to be here. It's not here.
oh, they tell you before then. It's everything's very scheduled.
Okay, walk me through it then.
So once you've done your psych evaluation, everything, they say, okay, when's your cycle supposed to start? So then they'll say, okay, well, I don't remember what it was, but like 3 days before that or after, whatever
Mhm.
it was, you need to start testing to see if you are ovulating. So I tested at 7:00 in the morning and 7:00 at night, and then you have 12 hours to get
To do the
inseminated.
procedure?
Yeah. So, so I did it. I went in, and 10 days later, you go in and you do a pregnancy test.
10 days?
10 days. 10 days.
Okay, so on day 10, you go in.
I go in. They do the test. They say, we'll call you with the results. And I went to work. And
Did you feel anything going into day 10?
No.
Anything feel off?
No.
Because you go back to work. Is it same
Yes.
day results or is it like
Yep. No. Yeah. About 3 hours later, something like that. They called and they said, and I was like,
you remember where you were?
oh yeah, I was at work sitting at my desk at Checkstar. And
I have chills
was
just
like-
thinking about this story.
and then I was excited, but then I was like, oh God, what did I just do?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then when was that? Then you go back in 21 days. I want to say it's 21 days, but you hear the heartbeat. Wow. So that was when that whole process is when I really figured out like how quickly it becomes I mean, it's a heartbeat at 3 weeks.
Uh-oh.
That's crazy.
We're going on the pro-choice conversation?
No, I'm just saying it.
Yeah, it becomes a real life thing.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It just made it so real because it was just so scheduled, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still remember hearing Lincoln's heartbeat for the first time and Monroe's heartbeat for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes from this is so cute to oh my word,
Yeah.
this is happening.
Yeah.
There's a living thing in there.
And not going back.
So, what's the first thing you do after you hang up?
I went and told Jennifer because we worked together, and then
Oh, so she's been a deep friend of yours for
oh yeah,
a long time.
yeah, bagel days.
Yeah.
And then I called Mom.
Did the whole family know you were doing this?
Um,
Not whole family. Mom and I'm just saying mom and grandma.
yeah.
How were they about it?
They were good. Yeah, they helped me look through the paperwork and kind of narrow it down.
I was around at the end, right?
Yeah.
Did I come to those hangouts where y'all were prepping?
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't think so. I don't remember. I remember one time because I had to make it because of when the next cycle was coming up. I was under a time crunch if I wanted to make that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to make a decision, and it was at your baseball game.
Oh, really?
Yes, and Carter was on the field, and Mom and Charles had called and said, "Hey, can you bring some of that paper? We want to help you look through this." But they were going to be gone or something, so I needed to go then. And so I was leaving before your game was over. And Carla went ballistic. She got so mad and started, "I can't believe you're leaving the game to go there and see them." And she's just like going off. And I got so mad. I was like, I have to make the biggest decision of my life tonight. So you better, I just went off on her. So anyway, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm like, yeah, whatever. We're done."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That really is.
Crazy.
Speaking of baseball games, you probably came to all of my games. Most of my
Sure,
games.
yeah. Not your senior year, but yeah.
No, I'm thinking like
Oh, yeah.
T-ball
Oh,
select.
yeah.
Was Mom as crazy as I remember? As far as, no, I shouldn't say crazy. Was she as loud as I remember?
Yeah, when you were
Were
little,
you?
when you're smaller.
Were you loud?
With you or with Preston?
With me.
Oh,
I remember how
think
you were with
so.
Preston.
I don't think I was with you.
I feel like I just remember being in the dugout one time and telling Mom to stop.
Probably.
She was screaming at me so much. Yeah.
Or screaming at the umpires.
Yeah. Man, that I'm so glad you felt comfortable to share that story. That's such a cool story to share about Preston. So he was born. Were we all there at the hospital? Excuse me for not remembering.
Carla and Mom were. I'm sure you were at school because it was a Tuesday, because that was payroll day. The whole time, Jennifer's like, "I know you're going to go into labor on Tuesday. I just know it." And I'm like,
Did she do payroll too?
well, she was going to have to do it if I wasn't there.
Yeah, got it.
So I'm like, no. So we scheduled it. I scheduled to have him on a Thursday. And so I go to the doctor on my Monday's appointments every week. So I went on Monday. And Dr. Neal said, "Okay, well, I'll see you in the morning." I'm like, "No, I'm coming in on Thursday." And he's like, "No, this paperwork says tomorrow." And I'm like, "Tomorrow's Tuesday." And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's supposed to be on Thursday." And he's like, "I'll ask the nurse, but I don't
Probably
think
can't
they're gonna
change it now,
this."
right?
He's like, "No, it's going to be a nightmare to try to change it."
Wow.
He said, because he was going out of town on Saturday. So I was trying to get it done. So I had to leave that appointment, called Jennifer on my way to work, and said, "I'm having a baby
Bad
tomorrow."
news. Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, crap. I knew you was going to do this to me." So I went and worked till 10 o'clock that night to get everything set up. So
The night before the baby was?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Women were built different back then, you know?
That's right.
Got women taking 8 weeks off before the baby gets here now. Not you, B. Before the baby? She worked the night. She worked the night before. Yeah. That was supposed to be a joke. Take it seriously.
Yeah. Then I went back to work. He was 3 weeks old, but I got to take him with me. So
Up at Techstar?
uh,
So you just breastfed in the office?
I couldn't breastfeed for the first week, but my milk never dropped, so I
Really?
couldn't. I had to put him on formula. So
Wow.
so he went
Did he go to
with work
daycare at all?
at when he was 9 weeks old.
Where were you living at that time? Was that same?
That was the house by LD Bell. Yeah, LD Bell, across from the school. He was like 6 months old when I moved to the other house.
Gotcha.
So
The LD Bell house was the duplex house, right?
correct. Yeah.
That's when you had Pebbles. Pebbles is her name?
It was Petals, but
Petals. Sorry.
No, I didn't have her then.
I thought you had her in that house.
Not then.
When did you have Petals?
When I was in Arlington, before I moved over there, before I had Preston, I didn't have him when I had Preston.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you and Mom plan that? By the way, I'm talking about 2 sister Shih Tzus, right?
Yeah. I wanted one, and Dennis had went and got one for me, and then maybe Carla said she had liked it or something, so Rick went and got her one.
2 stand-up guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The winners.
That we can save all those fun topics for another
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're an hour 20 in.
Wow.
Time flies.
Yep.
For the record, I appreciate you sharing those stories with me.
Yeah. Good to do it.
You're gonna be here another 6 nights, so we can get another one in.
We can get another one in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, let's call it a wrap then. Episode 1 is in the books. Joined by Dina Darlene, aka Doe. Thank you for joining me.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Bye.